Since technology has advanced so much in the past 30 years, tools such as Photoshop, photo editing applications, and the use of stage photography have become essential to most photographers' work to make their photos seem more dramatic and aesthetically pleasing. These modifications of photos can be used to initiate a reaction or a response from people. Instruments such as Photoshop have become so popular that they've been used by mass media outlets and large journalistic corporations to change and alter the appearance of photos. Said photos can spread a viral trend of misinformation and can be incorrectly portrayed to the public. According to ethicaljournalismnetwork.org, journalism relies on five basic principles: truth and accuracy, independence, fairness and impartiality, humanity, and accountability. The use of photo manipulation crosses many of these lines and of what should be accepted. Therefore, since new technology is able to dramatically alter photos and their presentation to the public, is it ethical in journalistic practices?
According to the New York Times, one of the largest photo competitions in the world had a major scandal around 5 years ago. The World Press Photo Competition had to eliminate around 20% of their participants and even went as far as revoking the first place prize to the winner, all because their photos showed a large amount of photo manipulation. These photos were determined to have misleading information by altering the image to create a completely different subject. Some believe this is a form of lying and cheating to get to the top. It's no longer a competition of photography skills, but of photo manipulation skills. The consequences that come with these photo changes may not be so dire for a photography competition, but it could be detrimental to more politically or culturally driven photography.
Evidence of photo manipulation has become popular that has been used by world powers to create a stronger looking front. For example, Iran has been a popular user of photo manipulation. According to alternateimagesbbc.org, in July 2008, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard published a photo that showed the launching of 4 mid-range and long-range missiles as a way to intimidate their enemies. However, the photo was very quickly identified to be manipulated to show the appearance of 4 missiles being launched when in actuality the 4th missile failed to launch. Not only is this photo journalistically unethical, but it also is so altered that it could create mass panic among its citizens. Inaccurate information on a political level can lead to wars. Another photo in May 2003 depicted former President George W. Bush in front of a crowd of people giving a speech and the thumbs up during the war. The problem is the banner behind him stating "Mission Accomplished." For the public, it seemed as if the war was quick to come to an end. Later, the photo was determined to be staged and was designed to create a positive image of the war since it wasn't going the government's way. This is lying to the US public and creates a false sense of security.
Photo manipulation can also impact a society. In the midst of the O.J. Simpson murder trial in June 1994, a picture of Simpson was posted on the cover of Times magazine. According to digitalethics.org, this photo showed large amounts of photo manipulation by darkening his skin tone, reducing the clarity, and showing a subtle growth on his chin. Not long after, a magazine called Newsweek posted the same photo but without the altercations. These changes portrayed a sinister-looking OJ, leading many to believe that Times magazine was racially charged. This violates the accuracy and impartiality of journalism ethics. Another example, and no matter what Simpson did or did not do, it paints a portrait that he is already considered guilty. Another example is in the University of Madison, Wisconsin. A photograph of a crowd of students at a football game was used as a cover brochure in 1994. The issue is that this crowd of students was all white, was a picture of all whites in 1993. A young black man was then photoshopped into this photo to promote their school's diversity. The university claimed that they were unable to find any accurate photos of their diversity at their school, so they simply altered one. This sounds unrealistic, and to go as far as photoshopping a random man into their photo is absurd. This is untruthful and lies to any readers or potential UW applicants. Some people argue that photo manipulation is a form of artwork and a beautiful skill developed over time. Art in the form of photos can be a great way to increase the effectability of a writer's information. However, there should be a limit. They should be required to inform the public by labeling if the image had been manipulated or not, This way, the public is able to determine whether this image is simply artwork or holds true to the situation presented.
Since photo manipulation is such a big issue for journalists and can cause an inaccurate representation of the truth, there needs to be significant regulations of what can be produced. We believe that the best solution to these unethical practices is to make sure there are set rules in place that decide whether or not a photograph is accepted and which and the rules can be used universally for all mass media. The regulations should also be stated more clearly. These rules include not removing, adding, intentionally staging, bribing of subjects, or, or and dramatic accounts of skin, face, body, and hair altercations. If media outlets choose to post photos that don't follow these guidelines, a clearly stated description of what was changed in the photo and why it was changed would be required by law. The description would be placed in an area where the viewer can clearly see and understand the actual truth of the photograph. In order to follow the 5 principles of journalism, those who still fail to present accurate photojournalism practices will be publicly reprimanded and their photos will be deemed inaccurate. This calls for the creation of a photojournalism ethical council to determine the authenticity of questionable photography and to uphold the regulations put in place. Without enforcement, photojournalists will continue to abuse the system and put forth misleading information.